What's up, world of YouTube? Happy Sunday, y'all. Hillside sunset. Honestly, it's interesting. It seems like the sun sets pretty fast nowadays. Maybe time is just perceivably moving faster. They say when you're having a good time, time flies. But I'm literally just recording a time lapse, which has been going for a while, actually. Probably about an hour before the sun started to set, actually, and go down. So we'll see how that comes out. I tried to record one last night, and I had the timing was off. Like, it was taking pictures way too frequently. I don't think the bats are out yet. I haven't heard them. This place is on top of a big hill, and I swear, every single night I'm up here, these bats, like thousands of them, come around for like a good 5-10 minutes. The first time I really noticed them is because they were so loud. What's up, Court? Good to see you. How are you? I hope all is well. I'm honestly just recording a time lapse right now. Chilling up on this hill. That's good. I moved away from Worcester like about 3 months ago. Thank you. I put on weight. I moved in with some family a few months ago and have just really been living a monotonous life. Like, I go to church and Bible study and stuff, and I'm like starting to learn more about the Bible and who Jesus was, and it's pretty cool. It's a different side of life that I never thought that I would get into. Like, I guess I never gave it a chance. Like, I was baptized as a Catholic. But like, that was at birth. I didn't really have a say in it. Like, I think it was more of like not really ritual, but it was done kind of as a reassurance for other people. You moved too? Nice. Yeah, I go to church every Sunday, and I go to I'm reading a book right now. It's called Spiritual Disciplines for the Christian Life, and it's different like principles and spirituality that you can live by and whatnot. And we read a chapter every week, and then there's a group of like 5 or 8 of us that meet for an hour before church and talk about it, the chapter that we read. What's up, Wicked Wisdom? Good to see you. Hi, Indy. I'm recording a time lapse right now with the truck. I got a GoPro set up on the front dashboard. I bought like a new phone mount, so I'm waiting for the bats to come out. They usually come out up above the school here. But yeah, Court, I moved to the North Shore, basically. I'm like 10, 20 minutes away from Hampton Beach and Salisbury. Like, when I first came up, it was winter time. There was still snow on the ground. And I would go to Salisbury Beach. I think I have a couple time lapses uploaded from there. Yeah, I'm just messing around with different camera stuff. And I'm almost that's funny. Yeah, yeah. So I'm working like closer to the city. I have an hour drive from where I live right now to get to work. We're building an 8,500 square foot house. It's pretty freaking insanely big. But what's up, Karma? Good to see you. Oh, you're in the mountains? That's awesome. I'd love to be up there. But I work closer to the city. I don't know. I'm probably gonna stick it out for the summer. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, about the move and stuff. It was good to move up and out of like my comfortable environment. I had to get out of my comfort zone. Like no lie, I'm almost off of methadone. I'm at 5 milligrams right now. And basically got the okay from the clinic. Like, if I feel I don't need it anymore, I can bring my bottles back and be completely graduated from the clinic. Like, not really, not have gone AMA or anything. I just went down to 5 yesterday. Every other week, I've been going down a milligram. So, I'll be pumped to get off of that. The liquid handcuffs, it'll give me some more freedom. But it's a monotonous life. It's boring. Lobster looked good the other day. There's lobster to be had all summer long. I mean, I am a Massachusetts native and I like my seafood and lobster, so but yeah, getting off the methadone, I mean, that's a move in the right direction, obviously, but there's also some other moves in the right direction. I have a consultation at for a Boston School of Dentistry, like basically a college that does dentistry work, and I have a consultation to start getting my teeth fixed. It's gotten bad. Like I had another infection a couple weeks ago and my face was all swelled up. I couldn't work. I missed a couple days of work. And it's becoming detrimental to me eating, like, so I definitely got to get him fixed. It's broken teeth in the back and shit, so it sucks. Karma says, I'll take boring every day. Yeah. I don't, it's hard though. Like, I don't know. Part of me misses the like chaos and stuff of like just it can be lived in a different manner. That's what I'm saying. Like there's other ways to act spontaneous without being reckless and self-destructive. Like I started shit, but my legs are still all scarred up and shit from all the drug use. So it's hard to move forward physically and get that physical foundation still being clean off of intravenous use for like almost 2.5 years now. What's up, Chicago West? Good to see you. Never bored around here. Yeah, gel dentist issues are the worst. I kind of have like I've realized like I have a phobia of dental work alone because I was born with a cleft palate. So I had to have like mouth oral surgery done when I was very young, like basically at birth. And then when I had to get braces, I had to have some more surgery done. So they had to do like skin gum measurements. And it was super painful when they did it, I remember. And I was young. I was probably like maybe 12 or 13 years old. And I think there's like a little bit of trauma from that. Yeah, I don't, Karma, I know you do the whole video game thing, and that's what's so understanding is like, I'm finding habits that are good for my health and whatnot, and that are not detrimental to my health. Like, no lie, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning every single morning, and I go to the gym at 5 to leave the gym by 6 o'clock to go to work. And if you had asked me 3-4 months ago that if I would like even want to like put that into fruition, I would be like, hell no, I ain't getting up that early. But even though it was uncomfortable at the beginning to do, like, get up early, go to the gym and shit. Once it started to become regular, it became a routine. And like, if I miss a couple days here and there, it's almost second nature to go to the gym in the morning. But on the flip side of that, I go to sleep at 8:30, 9 o'clock every night. But Court knows, like, if I didn't change my life around drastically and start to get better, I would be dead. Like, and if I hadn't done the right thing, I wouldn't have this truck, you know, like, good things wouldn't be happening. But the more, that's beautiful, y'all, isn't it? The more effort I put into bettering myself, not just for myself, but to be able to like help others, I find that good shit happens to me. So, inspiration, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Inspiration comes from the most unlikely of places. You never know. Like, I was at bottom of the barrel. Legs are all scarred up from doing fetty and whatnot. But that's the thing. If I can go from being bottom of the barrel, and bring myself up out of that, it could just be planting the seed for someone else to get clean. Like, I know that other people, when they were on their journey to get clean, that seed was planted into my head to want to get better my situation. So, am I happy? Getting there. The job, like, the monotony is kind of boring and whatnot. Shit gets lonely every once in a while, but I'm getting to know family that I never had a chance to even chat with or anything like that. Like, never really got to know, because anytime that I was around them, it was awkward because I was still doing drugs and shit, you know? So I removed myself from the situation for a while. That's a tough fucking question to ask, Joe. Seriously. I don't know. Because, right, so the material things aren't the things that really matter the most, is what I'm starting to comprehend. Like, I had a weird relationship with money. Money is like water to an addict. So, like, any money that I ever had it was already spent. Like, I knew exactly where it was going. It was going to maintain my habit. So, like, now that I wasn't using drugs, I quit smoking cigarettes, all that. Like, there's money to be had for other things, but that doesn't bring happiness. Like, the happiness comes from the internal work of trying to better yourself and better your situation and sit with that uncomfortable feeling that normally would drive me to drugs. Like, sitting with that feeling and processing whatever might have triggered me to want to do drugs and process it in a healthier manner. Like, that's where the happiness comes from, and reflecting on that you're getting shit done, you know? Make life decisions with $20 is real. Yeah. But money isn't what money isn't like, yes, money is a driving force. Like to try to be healthier and eat healthy, maintain a healthy lifestyle, it costs money. It's not free. It actually costs more to do that than to eat unhealthy, like go get ramen soups and live off of garbage. Like if you want to eat clean and healthy, it's more expensive unless you grow your own food. Like, so that's another thing. Like the area where I'm living, it's rural. There's a lot of farms. There's a lot of people that have like their own chicken coops and grow their own food and have like even their own beef and whatnot. There's a lot of farmland out here. So as from like going from like the area where I lived, it wasn't really like a city area, but it was like the suburbs. This is more like rural farmland out here. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you can buying relief, being able to, okay, so affording medical care. That's another thing that prevented me from the whole dentistry thing, was to get my insurance and all that straightened out. Like I couldn't pay out of pocket for medical care that I needed. Once you put yourself into a category where you're making a certain amount of money, you no longer can receive the benefits of someone that's like on a low income level. I'm not saying that I'm making anything crazy or anything like that, but there's a low threshold to be made there to not get state benefits anymore, in my opinion. That's the thing though. Like, yeah, that $20, right? But so when I first started doing like running the muck, right? It would be chasing, so it was $40 out here. It wasn't 20. $40 was the minimum. And it would be chasing a $40 first thing in the morning or whatever. And then figuring out where you get, it was in $40 increments. And at like the way that the addict mind justified it, it didn't mean the word. It was like just that instantaneous relief, like knowing that you're going to be well just for a small increment of the day, maybe half the day. And I don't know, I'm grateful to be living a different lifestyle and not being dependent on living 6 hours, 8 hours at a time, wondering if I'm going to be able to hit, or if it's going to take me an hour to hit. It's crazy. Thank you, Court. The journey's only just begun though, like for real. And I ain't been live for a minute, so I'm glad that you caught me. What's up, Anna? Good to see you. Drinking will always be my crutch. Never been totally sober. I quit smoking weed for a while, right? For like probably a couple months, I want to say. I was going to say a few months. I know it was over 2 months, but I quit smoking weed for a while, and I just picked it back up recently. But I'm not letting it get to like the point it was before, consciously. It's a conscious decision. The bats are out. Hold up. It's crazy. A tolerance break. Yeah, I quit for a few months and then started back up, but I don't smoke every day no more. So when I quit smoking cigarettes, Court, I started running, and I just started running out of nowhere. I started with just kind of setting the treadmill at this steep incline and hiking at like a brisk pace, and then that brisk pace went up to a jog, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can run a mile. without stopping, right? That was the first benchmark. Then it was like I set another benchmark at 1.5 miles. And instead of going the 1.5 miles, I went to 2 miles and ran 2 miles without stopping. Mind you, I had been smoking a pack of cigarettes a day up until 3 months before this for like the past 25, 30 years. So I was like mind blown, right? That I was even able to run like this. At one point, I ran 4 miles straight without stopping. And then like the very next day, I ended up with an abscess in my tooth and I like could not run. It's crazy how like life puts setbacks in front of me like that. But I guess that's just like, all right, you need to slow down. Smoke herb for about a week every 2 months or so. It helps my anxiety, but makes it worse. Karma, I've heard that from a lot of people. One of the kids that I work with, same thing for him. A lot of people that I used to be friends with, you know, they were former smokers, heavy smokers, and then at one point stopped and then couldn't go back to it because it gave them anxiety. And the weed nowadays, unless you're growing your own, it's all dispensary. You know, the dispensaries here in Massachusetts, crazy high potency flower. Everyone smoke. I only smoke flower. I don't smoke wax or dabs and nothing like that. So I don't know. Even when I was smoking heavy, it was only flower. But I just quit for a while, and I don't know what made me start back up. Because I remember consciously like being like, okay, I could do this without like, I don't really need to smoke. And I don't know. It's almost like a self-destructive thing, you know? It helps me relax. I will say that much. I'd rather smoke than drink. I feel like my drinking can get out of control too, so. You ran a 100-mile race from New Hampshire to Rhode Island. That's dope. That's awesome. Like that's aspiration. Is that even the right word? Aspirations to do something like better. Like hell, can't even comprehend running a 100-mile race right now, but it could be done. People do it, right? I also saw a documentary right after I started running this running journey or whatever you want to call it, right? This guy had cancer, and it was like the sickle cancer that he had one lung basically, and he started this running thing. He just tried to run like a mile every single day and started doing that. Hit his first year, hit his second year, and kept going. And he ended up catching cancer again during this documentary. Survived that, but like when he got his first diagnosis, he was given like a 6-month period to live. And this was years later they were making this documentary. So I saw that documentary and I was like, okay, if this guy has one lung and he's running like a mile every single day, then what's my excuse? For real. I'm the same way, Court. I'm the same way. I don't like a side of me that can't come. Like when I drink, I'm not a social drinker. Like I'm drinking to get that buzz. I'm not drinking just to relax. I don't know. And I haven't drank in a while. Last time I even drank, I knew like it's a whole story. I should make a video on that, but it started out day drinking and I hadn't drank in years anyways previous. And it became a whole day into an evening into the next morning, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, and my track record with alcohol is not good at all. Let's face it. I had my first DUI when I was 16. I didn't have my driver's license, and then got my second one in my early 20s. It was over 20 years ago, but still, like, it's just the track record. And that's why I like to do do the opposite of what I had been doing, like drinking and being a detriment to my own health and whatnot. I learned to function on substances. It is a bad thing, definitely. So when it was before xylazine and Trank came around, it was semi manageable. I want to say even when when Fetty started coming around, fentanyl, that's when it really became unmanageable for me. But previous to that, yeah, there were instances of not being able to get well and stuff like that, but health wise, I was still managing well. But I also think after 10 years straight, so I had approximately 13 years straight of intravenous use. And I think once I reached that 10-year benchmark, if you want to call it that, something just snapped and broke at that point. And there was like a mustard seed size piece of hope left, right? But that's all I fucking held on to, for real. I almost glorified wanting to go out that way, but I wasn't allowed to. I guess I have a greater purpose. That's the only excuse for me staying alive as long as I have. Granted, another day tomorrow, right? I've spoke about it before. I mean, Joe, you've been around for a while. A lot of my lives aren't up anymore, but I no lie had a spiritual awakening, and I guess that's a testimony to give at some point. I see a lot of people online and on YouTube that are giving testimonies and whatnot, and a lot of them are looking clean cut. They have like 6 or 8 years clean and whatnot, but for me, it's taken me a little bit longer to get to where I want to be. I gave myself a time period of 2 years to be on methadone. I'm at about 2.5 years right now. So I'm still getting there, but it's not the way I want it done. It's the way God wants it done, you know. It's his will. And me kind of giving over to the spirit, you know, letting things happen the way they will, and relinquishing control is tough for me. But it's funny, when you're looking at character defects in yourself, the ones that need the most work are the most prevalent in my experience, and the ones that stick out in my head. So I try to purposely put myself in uncomfortable situations to try to grow in that manner, you know? What's a testimony exactly? I don't believe so. You could take it in any context you really want, not necessarily religious, but I think it's someone that has to testify to the way that they not necessarily prevailed over something, but made it through something, right? It's a I don't know, it's kind of like, it makes me think of justify, like justification, testifying. But you're not trying to justify anything, because if it's a truth, it's your truth of what happened to you and how the way that you perceive things. You know, this world is an interesting place. A lot of us perceive things and perceive others and see other people, and then perceive the way that you think they should perceive things. But the world don't work like that. Everyone perceives things in their own way, and the only way that we can come to an agreement on certain things is to be able to communicate well. And I think people aren't there's a lack of communication from one human to another in a human interaction. You know, people be FaceTiming and all that stuff. I mean, here I am on YouTube on a screen right now talking to y'all, preaching to the choir. But like the other day, I was on a walk. There's a cliff walk. Well, not a cliff walk. It's a walk along a beach near where I'm at. And I want to say like 80 to 90% of the people that I walked by had earbuds in or had their face in their phone. And I'm not a bashful person. I'll give a little smile and a wave, at someone when I'm passing by them and we're walking past. Just as an acknowledgement, like you don't know what that person has going on in their life. That you might be the only person that waved to them or even acknowledged them that day. Just trying to kind of be a good person. That's it. Push a little positivity into this negative world that we live in. 100% most people don't consider perceptions of others. It's not an easy thing, especially a perception of someone else that you don't agree with. Someone that has an alternative perception of reality that might not align with your beliefs. And to be able to communicate and come to at least a little bit of a common ground, or even an understanding, a general understanding. I mean, that could have shockwaves through the universe if more people could do that. But I feel like it's something more powerful when it happens face to face, when people are actually in the presence of one another. Court, before I moved up here, I don't know if you saw my community post, but I posted a picture of a smashed phone. No lie, I took a hammer and smashed my cell phone, and I titled the caption like "winning" or something like that, right? I didn't have a phone for like 2 months. It was the freaking greatest thing ever. That's why I haven't been live. I mean, not because I didn't have a phone, but just I'm not into social media as much as I was before. It's like a realignment. I just want to focus on things that I can, don't necessarily give me instant gratification, but in the long run are going to make leaps and bounds, like getting my teeth fixed, putting on 30 pounds and going to the gym almost every single day. I once told you, who cares what other people think? If you're working on yourself and making yourself a better person and feeling better about yourself, not because of outside instant gratification, then that's the reward. For so long, I used to just introduce that outside instant gratification into my veins, no lie. Like instant gratification, But if I can, something had to give in there, and that's where the spiritual awakening came in. Like, there's no way that I couldn't have done it on my own. There was outside spiritual influence from God, and that's what I believe. And I'm only starting to discover the Bible and the history of all this spiritual wisdom that's out there. Literally just getting my feet wet. Even though I was baptized, did my confirmation and all that in the Catholic Church. But I'm learning that Christianity is like a feeling. It's not necessarily a religion. It's having a feeling, that relationship with your higher power. That's what it is for me. Bro, I like to goof with you, but I've got a lot of respect for you. Must be a sunroof. Got me thinking, yeah. The roof. I remember that. So, yeah, you've been around for a while, Joe, right? Coming from the garage, right? Just really having there was seeds being planted at that time on what I wanted to do. I still don't really have a specific direction on what I want to do with my life, like a purpose per se, but I do know that I enjoy giving back to people. I enjoy helping other people out. I've always enjoyed helping other people out, and it's just random acts of kindness, Garage days, yeah. But that's another thing too, like living at mom's house, right? I still have to go back there every couple of weeks to go to the clinic, right? But so I stop in and whatnot, and that's another thing. My mother's not getting any younger. She has her own health issues. So by me bettering myself and my situation to be able to help her out when that time comes, because it's inevitable. We all get old and die. Um, and I don't need to really get into specifics, but take care of your body and try to keep a mind on the longevity of life. And I'm like talking to myself too, because for a long time I was just self-abusive. And that will catch up to you in the long run. I've seen that happen multiple times now to people that are close to me. The sunscreen, y'all got to wear sunscreen if you're out in the sun. Smoking. But we all have our vices, you know. I could go back to smoking cigarettes tomorrow for all I know. I don't want to, but you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Mind and body. All right. I am going to get out of here, though. I appreciate all y'all for stopping in. Look at that gorgeous sunset. Y'all should see it when the stars start coming out here. It's pretty cool. You quit smoking cigarettes too, Court? Good for you. I didn't go to the vape. I don't know. Not my thing. But good for you. I'm proud of you. I know it's not easy. Nicotine. I don't know. I think taking myself out of the situation that I was in and into an environment where it was all new, and then the people that I'm staying with, they don't smoke. They don't endorse smoking cigarettes or anything like that. So that was kind of, that helped me quit and whatnot. See, I had my bad. See, I had the GoPro set up for the time lapse, but I'm gonna get out of here. Good. I can't even remember the last time I was live. I don't know. Something in my head just said go live. And I don't have the same cell phone number anymore, so yeah, because smashed my cell phone. Had to get a whole new number. It was just a good reset, Court. I'm telling you, like, getting off the social media and all that stuff for an extended amount of time, definitely recommend it. Karma, thank you for hanging out, bro. As always, Thunder Gang, you know. Peace.